I'm excited to welcome on one of the quickest rising guys in 2022 and Chris Watson. What's going on there, bro?
What's going on?
Not much, man. So, I mean, you've obviously been playing at a high level, and now you've been starting to pull in a lot of offers. Now that coach can start talking to you. What's the past few weeks been like?
It's been amazing. I mean, I've loved the attraction I got from the last 2 weeks from college coaches and all that. This has been good. Just talking to college coaches the last 2 weeks.
I know there's been some interest for a little bit before that, but now you pulled in Xavier, Maryland, Rhode Island, Pitt, Georgetown, St. John's, LSU. I mean, the list goes on. What's your relationship with some of these coaches, some of these programs?
Yeah, so some of these programs, coaches, they just really talk about how I fit well in their program. Just how I'm an underrated prospect in my class. And they're catching on early for all these other coaches. So yeah.
And you made your first top 100 list. 247 puts you in there. To see yourself start getting some notoriety, what does that mean to you?
I mean, it's been good. I feel like people have been sleeping on me for a while. Yeah, so people have been sleeping for a while. I mean, it's good to be ranked and all that, but that's not the main goal. The main goal is to be a pro one day.
And take us to that first night. Obviously, they could start calling you at midnight. When was the first call? When the first call or text come in for you?
I believe GW was the first call. And then GW already offered, but I believe GW was the first call. And then Xavier called next. And that was my first offer of the night.
That's big time. And you've now got a few weeks to start kind of talking to these coaches, getting to know what they're like. When you talk about possibly putting together a dream coach in terms of what the personality is like, what kind of game plan they have, what kind of characteristics do you want to see in a coach?
I mean, it's just the coach let me rock out, play my game, doesn't hold me back from anything. Just like the coach being like a player's coach. Just being like a cool coach that they can just let me play.
Mm-hmm. And you talk about all these programs. You've got a mixture of high majors, low majors, all kinds of conferences across the country. What would you say is a priority? Is playing in a high major, a Power 5 conference, a priority to you?
I'll say that too, but what's going on right now in the world, like HBCU, like low major, I'll consider that too.
And let's talk about that. We obviously haven't been waiting for the first guy to do it. A lot of people are kind of expecting a 2021 guy to do it since most of them haven't commit yet. But obviously, McCurr makes the move to Howard. When you see a guy that's a top 10 talent like McCurr go to HBCU, how much more appealing does that make those type of schools?
I mean, yeah, it's amazing because Howard's like about 20-some minutes away from my house. So just seeing him make that move to Howard was amazing. Him being the first 5-star to make a move to HBCU was good.
I think we can all imagine and probably all expect at least one more guy in 2021 to do it, as well as probably a lot more. You personally, just talking to some of the top players, what's the kind of momentum? Do you think there's going to be a lot of guys in the future classes start going to HBCU route?
So, yeah, that's what, from my friends, what I've been talking to my friends, yeah, they're considering HBCUs. And, Mikey Williams and all them, they considering them. So, yeah, that'll be if HBCU offers me, that'll be like a choice, my decision in the future.
And I think a few months ago or the past few recruiting class, I think a lot of guys always have an HBCU. They take a visit there, at least they have them in their list somewhere. But they never seriously considered it. With all the stuff that's going on in the world right now, how much more likely is it that you or other guys might go there as opposed to maybe 3 or 4 months ago?
So, yeah, I feel like most guys just trying to hop on the wave for real, like McCurr and Mikey. But they're not serious about it. They're just trying to draw some attention so they can get a little buzz off their decision. But I'll really make that a serious choice in my in the future when it's time for me to commit.
And when you look at HBCU schools, obviously the thing that a lot of guys always have said that the reason they might not want to go to one is because of maybe not being a national TV schedule, maybe not having a lot of the characteristics that maybe a Power 5 might have. For you personally, what would you say would be some of the only downsides to going to HBCU?
I mean, HBCU still plays on TV, but they don't play the same schedule, national TV schedule as other high majors. But I mean, just playing in front of Black people every day. I mean, not to say you don't play in front of white people all the time, but it's a mixture. It's the same thing for real. Same TV schedule. It's just going to HBCU. That's all it is.
For you personally, what would you say would be the best part of possibly going to one?
I would say because my mom and dad went to HBCU, Norfolk State, so
Mm-hmm.
they've been talking about that with me to go going to Norfolk State.
Gotcha. And if we go back 3 or 4 months for you, has an HBC become a lot more realistic destination point for you now as opposed to maybe the beginning of the year or even last year?
So yeah, I'll say Howard offered me my freshman year, but it was a new coaching staff, so the new coaching staff hasn't offered me yet. But yeah,
Gotcha. And we look at all these schools you have right now. Some of those schools I kind of want to touch up on is one of them is an LSU type school, and we see a lot of these schools dealing with stuff off the court, some stuff with the FBI investigation, stuff like that. When you see a program that might have off the court issues, what kind of goes through your mind when you see that?
I mean, for me, just going to school, I'm just going to school to hoop and get my education. That's it.
Mm-hmm.
So off the court issues, the coaching staff can handle that, the school can handle that, but I'm just going to school to hoop. So that really doesn't make a to hoop and get my education. That really doesn't make a big deal in my decision.
Absolutely. And if you could put together 1 to 3 things that you would say are the biggest things that you want to see from a college in your recruitment, what do you say are some of the biggest priorities for you?
I'll say family environment. Like if the school has my major that I want to major in is business management,
Mm-hmm.
and the last thing I would say the coaching staff, just the relationship I have with the coaching staff, just they make me a priority. And yeah, I would really consider that school, whatever school it is, if they make me their number one priority.
You mentioned talking about your kind of business management that you want to do. What would you say is
Yeah.
a job you'd like to do someday once you move away from basketball?
So yeah, I've been when I was younger, I used to sell like shoes and clothes on like an Instagram, but it wasn't really that big. So maybe in the future, I'll really like make it. I want to make it like bigger and
Mm-hmm.
make more money off of it.
Another huge attraction for a lot of guys in the college recruitment is staying somewhere close to home, is potentially staying somewhere relatively close to your home and your family, any kind of priority to you.
Yeah, for sure. I could play in my family every day, basically. Like I was talking to some other guy. I was talking to him about Maryland, and I was just telling him that I used to go to Maryland almost every other day just to like watch the basketball games and football games and just visit campus. So yeah, I was talking to him about that. That'll be a major key.
And that's the next thing I'm going to talk about. Another big thing for a lot of guys is the idea of potentially teaming up with someone. Is there anyone, and if so, who's some guys you might have wanted to talk about possibly going somewhere with them?
Well, me and my guy Willie Rivera, we've
Mm-hmm.
been talking about Maryland. He plays with DC Premier on 2022. So we've been talking about Maryland since we were like probably like 2 years ago. So
That's
yeah,
awesome.
yeah.
And we know right now it's not the typical year for you guys as a basketball players going through the spring and the summertime. You guys are playing AAU ball. What would you want to be able to go out there and prove if you're able to go out there and play with Team Durant this year?
So yeah, I would want to prove that like I can compete with top kids in the nation, like top 10, top 20, which I already proved, but I like to prove it more, show that I'm one of the best kids in my class.
And so what's that looking like for you guys? Is there going to be some kind of games you guys going to be able to play this year?
So yeah, my coach has been telling me we're gonna go like to Vegas and Texas, like
Mm-hmm.
late July, early August, but we haven't had a confirmed date yet.
Gotcha. And you go out there, you're already pulling in a lot of offers. And we talked about, obviously, you are a top 100 guy in some rankings now. Where do you personally see yourself rank up amongst the 2022 guys?
So I say I could bump up a lot because we have a national schedule where my school, St. John's, we have a national schedule, so I can attract more national attraction just playing against like top programs in the nation. So I could feel like I could bump up like 20 spots.
Take us to the past year. I mean, you had a solid year, 24-9 record overall as a team. What was this past season like?
So yeah, I had like a smaller role playing in front of like guys like Ishmael Leggett going to Rhode Island,
Mm-hmm.
and I was just like a role player basically, but I still did my due when the time came.
And now next you're going to have a larger role. What do you kind of expect? What do you expect your role to be for next season?
So yeah, I'm supposed to be a leader. We got a lot of young guys, so yeah, coach expecting me to come in and just lead the young guys, play my hardest every night, just compete every day.
Now, you personally, what kind of numbers do you think you're capable of putting up this year?
So I would say I'm a team player, so I would say I would average like 15 to 20. Just have a lot of assists and rebounds. Get my teammates involved still.
What would you say are some of your strong suits in the game?
Catch and shoot, three, get into the basket, and I would say facilitating.
When you look at the next year, you guys are obviously losing some pieces. You're going to become one of the primary guys next year. What do you kind of expect for the season? What do you guys think you guys can achieve as a team next year?
So we got a lot of young guys that's like top in their class. I expect them to come in and play a huge role. Um, they're not really young guys, but they are. But they have the mentality of like an older upperclassman.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I expect big things from them. We're gonna be great. I'm gonna be the leader. Me and Shane Lancaster. That's
Mm-hmm.
gonna be us two. And I'm Amani, Logan. We're just gonna sway Malik. We're just gonna have to come in and lead the young guys.
We've seen how you kind of blown up now. You were an underrated guy, starting to get a lot more attention. Who's someone on your team you think is going to be the same kind of story as you that they're going to take within the next year they're going to start blowing up?
Yeah, so Shane Lancaster, he's starting to blow up. Shane, I say Amani Hansberry, he's
Mm-hmm.
like number 9 in his class. He's a big man. Malik Mack, he's a point guard in 2023 class. He's real slept on, but I feel like he's going to blow up. Yeah, I feel like my whole team can blow up. We're just an underrated team. We don't get the much recognition as we should.
Absolutely. And the last thing before I let you go is you're going to want to be able to build a legacy for yourself, I can imagine, with what you're able to achieve on the court and off the court. When you step away from the game someday, what do you want that legacy to be?
So yeah, I just want to be a legend of St. John's. Yeah, just a legend of St. John's. Leave that legacy that I was like a star player, leader, just lead my team to championships.
No doubt, man. Well, I definitely appreciate you taking time to come on, my guy. Look forward to seeing what God's got next for you, man.
Appreciate you.
Of course, man. You're always welcome on, bro. God bless.
All right, you too.